Ladies and gentlemen, what is up and welcome back to Champion of the Day. Today we're going to be diving into a champion that a lot of people feel just doesn't really get as much love as she deserves. So we're here today, we're going to give her some love, we're going to hype her up, and that character is Angela in Marvel Contest of Champions. She was one of the 2017 releases, and she is really fun to play, and a really cool character. Now to go over some of the advantages of this character, and she kind of has three main ones, and the first is she has a huge amount of raw damage that doesn't rely on any bleed or poison, so she is never gimped by any opponent that is bleed or poison immune, or any node that has like full immunity to debuffs. She's still got 100% of her raw damage, and this circumstantially can be very useful, especially when you're looking at stuff like the Act 5 final boss, the OG Ultron. She's a really phenomenal character for that fight. We managed to solo her, that Ultron, with relative ease using Angela. So yeah, it wasn't too bad at all. And then the second point is that Angela does not need to be awakened. Angela arguably has the most useless awakened ability in game, that basically reduces the chance for her buffs to be nullified based on the amount of buffs she has. But if you're playing well, then that's never really going to be a circumstance. And as a defender, like, the buffs don't really mean anything, and Angela just doesn't have anything going on for defense. Like, she's purely like a champion for absolutely tearing it up. And the final one is she has actually got a really good synergy with her ability to kind of recuperate any health lost with Suicide Masteries. So people that go in for Labyrinth of Legends runs of Angela often find themselves using very high Suicide Mastery damage builds. So, you know, if you're a big fan of the Suicide Masteries, she could be a really good champion for you to use on the regular. Now, when it comes to some of the cons of Angela, I think the first one is she doesn't really have much, if any, utility. Again, we mentioned about this resilience thing, so for each 10% max health taken in damage, you immediately gain a resilience counter, which converts into regeneration, but that's pretty much it in regards to any sort of utility that this champion has. Apart from that, she's mainly all about damage, so that's one of the biggest cons of the champion. She also is a champion that cycles through a lot of buff effects, so if you are ever fighting in Alliance War against a Mystic champion, or any PvP scenario where the opponent might have Mystic Dispersion, you are going to have a very bad time playing Angela in that matchup. Simultaneously, if you see stuff like Shatter nodes, where opponents, where you're punished for whenever a buff expires, this can be really bad for Angela as well. And also, you know, as we mentioned earlier, you know, her awakened ability is just absolute ass. It's just so incredibly useless. I've never even seen a highlight clip of it being useful. Maybe if you mess up to like a Scarlet Witch or a Hood, then maybe, but again, like, it's just really ass. But that's one of the strengths of the character. She has everything that she needs when you pull her out of a crystal, and that's something that I really like about certain champions, because especially, you know, for newer players progressing, it's really difficult just to land on a champion that is absolutely amazing and without being awakened. Like, you know, you get to a lot of champions like Star-Lord or Dr. Voodoo, and then like, it's like, oh, okay, I got this character, but they're not really that useful until I get them awakened. So yeah, big pro in Angela's corner. So essentially, Angela, in terms of how this character works and functions, she gains a buff based on her current power level, and the general rule of Angela that you want to keep in mind, there are like 3 different rotations, but you want to spend almost no time below 1 bar of power, or really try to minimize that as effective as possible. So you always want to make sure you are between 1 and 3 bars of power for kind of the best rotation, and it's kind of a little bit arguable which rotation is best. You have people that spam the special 1, you have people that spam the special 2, but both when they're about to hit either, you know, with the special 1 when you're about to hit the special 2, or if you spam the special 2 when you're about to hit the special 3, and also if you have the Black Bolt synergy, then pushing to the special 3. So if you go in with like triple Black Bolt, then you can get, you know, 75% increased buff duration, and that one, if you want to just, you know, go get one special 1 and then do a special 3 and just keeps on rinse and repeating that is overall the best way to play, but only if you have the triple Black Bolt synergy. But again, the usefulness of that one is just very limited outside of like Realm of Legends, because in Labyrinth, you know, you still need additional characters unless you have a rank 5 as a 5-star to increase the enrage time. So for most people, just to make it very simple, The best way that I found to play Angela is just spamming the special 1 right before she's about to hit the special 2. Which, you know, it takes a little bit of practice, and sometimes you need to end the combo a little bit early. But once you get into a good rhythm with it, it really isn't too bad at all. And I think to showcase Angela and some of the damage, because that's what we're mainly concerned on today, we're going to go into Act 5, Chapter 1. We're going to go into the Life Transfer chapter. So again, Angela doesn't have anywhere close to the regeneration that you're about to see, because this one, you know, is going to heal us for 125% of damage dealt. And this is also an additional advantage of Angela. She's really, really good for life transfer, because again, all of her damage is just OG raw damage. She is not taking... she's, you know, getting the maximum possible benefit from life transfer, so really, really good character for scenarios like this. But anyway, let's start off with the Rocket Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon, very relatively low health opponent. There's not a huge amount of room to open up, but you know, we can get an idea for how good Angela's damage is and how she's faring in this. So again, there is regeneration based on damage dealt in this chapter, just as a heads up if that wasn't already a little bit clear. Right, so do I want to slam down the special 1 here, again, right before you're about to get to the special 2, and then if I were to go over, I just have, yeah, 3 stacks of Fury on that next hit, and as you can see, in combo with Assassin, man, that was a really, really big hit. Just under 6,000 damage there, tore through that Rocket Raccoon, but again, very, very favorable matchup to start off with. We got some slightly less favorable ones here in Falcon. Falcon's a lot more beefy, though, so we'll see how she fares in this scenario. But I find Angela, just like doing the 5 combo, she's one of the most fun characters to play. But I think also one of the really underwhelming things about Angela is her special attacks. Like, I really, really hate her special attacks, man. They just don't really deal much damage at all. Right, so, oh, no, kind of messed that one up. Right, we're just going to go to the, towards the, what is it, special 3 here, fire off the special 2. So again, that's kind of the backup plan if you go slightly over, because, you know, when you're doing rotations like this, it doesn't always go to plan. There we go, let's just keep on landing that damage there. Some very, very nice damage in Assassin's Reigns, and boom, that Falcon goes down. Not too bad at all. Again, like, in terms of playing this character, like, she is so incredibly simple, but simultaneously just incredibly effective at what she does, which is dishing out a huge amount of raw damage. And again, in scenarios where the opponent is immune to debuffs, she can potentially be one of the best options. I mean, not quite there, you know, if we look at a longer fight where you can easily keep the combo, then Star-Lord definitely has a much more significant advantage, but for those people who might not have access to a Star-Lord, like Angela, fantastic. Right, let's fire off that special 1. And go in again. Did we get any crits between? Oh, I think... Oh, I get what's happening here. So Magneto, because Angela has a sword, she's actually labeled as a metal opponent, which is causing some abilities and stuff not to trigger. Oh man, that's a massive pain in the ass. Yeah, we got a little bit wrecked there, a little bit wrecked. Okay, we're gonna exit out and just try another fight there. So let's go ahead, end quest, and I think we'll go down to the dead of on Hawkeye. Yeah, that's just totally my bad on the evade there. So let's jump back into Fracture, go to Taunted again. And actually, yeah, let's go down this way. I was gonna say, might try find the Kang in another chapter, but I think this is a really, really good chapter just to showcase some of our damage output potential. Right, Angela versus Hawkeye. This Hawkeye is 72,000 health. And I think you'll find, like, when playing a 550 Angela, maybe with my masteries, kind of the average damage per hit generally ends up being about 2,000 once you get into the fight. But again, there's a good, I would say, like 20 or so hits before you, like, really start to feel the ramp up in damage there. Once you get, you know, 10, 11, you are in the zone for that special. And once you got the 3 stacks of Fury, again, like, the damage is just so awesome. 4Ks on a medium. See what we can go do. Get the evade there. Fire off another special 1. Slam that down. I think another 5 combo is just going to be perfect to round this fight off with. And there we go. Again, very underwhelming special, man. That's so bad. There we go. Hawkeye's down, though. 50 hits. There's a bit of damage ramp up at the start for sure. A good... It does take a good, like, 20 hits until we get the big beastie damage, which just makes a pretty decent boss killer for a lot of stuff, to be honest. Right, let's go for Daredevil this time. And also the resilience, you know, if you're taking like passive damage for something like... I'm interested to see, you know, how Angela is going to be against Void, because I think Void is going to be a champion that's going to... You know, he's not going to be a mystic character. He's going to have a little bit of passive degeneration or some stuff probably eating away at you from his debuffs by being nearby. So I think Angela's resilience mechanic might allow her to counter that quite nicely. And as you can see, because we're degenerating here, we're getting tons of stacks of resilience as well, which is just adding to the fuel of crazy healing with life transfer. So it's some really, really cool stuff. Alright, let's dodge that. Go back in. Get the old 5 wombo combo. Okay, so that's just a few examples of, you know, how Angela is going to fare on your average Act 5 fight. But I guess, you know, I want to show off something as well that we talked about toward the start of the video, which is the synergy with Black Bolt and a slightly alternative way to play the character. Again, this is very, very circumstantial, but in my testing that I've done against Realm of Legends Winter Soldier, I think it's on average about 20% more efficient. Which, you know, is nice, but again, you need to have a lot of, what is it, Kamala Khans and Black Bolts going on. Right, so we'll get triple Black Bolt. Actually, what did I use before? I think it's double Black Bolt, so we've got the freestyle version as well. And then also, because the Black Bolt synergy increases the Fury, Precision, Cruelty, and Armor Up buffs. So that's a lot of the stuff, but it isn't the special free. So I think if we go, because you get a unique debuff from the special free, which increases the potency of Fury and the crit effect. Actually, to be honest, that's not going to be too useful. I think we'll just go for the 2-star Black Bolt just to keep it as simple as possible. I was going to go for Morning Star as well, but just triple Black Bolt I think is probably the way to play it. And actually, we don't want Miss Marvel, we want Ronan, because Ronan has a little bit of crit damage as well. Let's build that team here. Where is my 4-star Ronan? There he is. Yeah, Ronan always over Miss Marvel for like that. Just a little bit of crit damage there. So, via all these synergies, we have plus 75% increased buff duration, and the buffs that we're getting from critting and using our special attacks, you know, have a significantly longer duration now, which synergizes very, very nicely with the effect of the special free. So we're going to go in, and you might see, like, overall, because we don't have the X-Men team synergy, that our base damage output, comparatively speaking, is going to be lower. But if we get the dash back there, going to do another 5 combo. Just so you can see, if you're having, you know, a close look at that Fury effect, you'll just see, like, how long the duration is on it. And now we just gotta keep rinsing away at this Winter Soldier. Like, that Fury just has duration for absolute days right now. Just lasts well into the special too, but you just keep on building, and go to the special free, wait till you see the buff pop up, and double, then fire off the special free. Now, you want to look very, very carefully after this is done for the damage, and it was, yeah, just 15,000 there. So, fairly decent off the special free. Certainly not too bad at all. I think I've seen it go up to 21k before. I feel like that's maybe the highest I've seen it at. But I'm not too sure how I achieved that. Maybe in Assassin's range might have been the answer there. Or maybe I had one of the armor up buffs. Yeah, I think I was lacking an armor up buff because I didn't get that to crit. Because the special free is also modified. Well, it's modified by all the buffs you have. So I assume if you have regeneration as well, actually, it's going to be even more if it procs at the right time. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and dodge that. And just tearing through Winter Soldier here, just again, such awesome damage output. Right, I think we have one more buff than we had last time, so I feel like this should be 18,000 damage, and okay, that's 17,000, not too bad at all. If the regeneration lines up, that's going to be over 20k on a special free, so that's pretty decent there. And I think, you know, we'll get him to 50%, and then we'll go ahead and stop, because it's just going to take a little bit too long to get the full kill here. But there we go. Just to give you a very rough idea of how Angela fares. I think we'll go one more special free, see if we can get the regeneration to time in well. Ah, no! Yeah, I messed up a little bit there, but hey, we got the stack of regeneration that we were after. So that works. That certainly works. Right, we got the buff from the special free, so let's fire this off. And hopefully this should be, is it going to be 20,000 damage? But there we go. About 50% there. And not too bad at all. I think that's probably like 130 hits, something like that. But again, there is that like ramp up period at the start, especially when you're using that rotation. So that was 150. Like we've done some videos showcasing the full rotation on the channel if you want to check it out with the SP1 spam versus that rotation. I find that a much funner way to play, and I wish like Angela had the plus 75% increased buff duration as a passive. That'd be super sweet. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of Angela Champion of the Day, episode number 3. If you're enjoying the series, feel free to smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.